Today we talk about the power of the pause. Speaking slowly takes a lot of breath, so take a fresh breath at every punctuation mark. These lines are spoken by the old and broken King Lear, so you have the permission to sound old and angry, but in the dramatic style of a classical actor. If you read slowly, you need to breathe slowly too. So there will be quite a pause between each line, but keep the sense of momentum. As soon as you read a phrase, look up to speak it, then look down again for the next. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man, as full of grief as age, wretched in both. If it be you that stirs these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely. Touch me with noble anger, and let not women's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hags. Making use of the pause is extremely important. There are two major good reasons. It should come to the mind while you're pausing between sentences. The first thing is, pause gives you a time to think. Pause looks as if you're taking time to think, which your audience will appreciate. If you find that any pause seems unbearably long, fill the gap with a deliberate action. Take a couple of steps, look down for a moment, gather yourself, make a calm adjustment to your notes. It all looks beautifully natural. Breathe in slowly and speak again. How to take a good breath? When you take a full breath, good things happen. What are those? Your brain enjoys the oxygen and you're able to think better. The audience interprets the breath as a new thought and pays you attention. You're less likely to rush if you have plenty of air. While we have the power of the pause, we also have to take into consideration the slight tempo. If you naturally speak slowly, you're likely to be easier to understand and may even be considered authoritative. However, a slow voice has downsides too. What are those? If you don't vary your voice in other ways, in terms of your voice modulation, your voice will sound dull. You find it hard to be quick on your feet with a deep, slow voice. Several surveys show that people consider someone with a quicker voice more intelligent. If you're dealing with someone who naturally speaks much faster than you, they will get irritated by your slow voice. So people usually sound unnaturally slow only when their speaking style is monotonous. One remedy is to include plenty of variety in the terms of volume, the pitch, the tone, the tempo, the timbre. The other remedy is to practice speaking at different speeds. The following practice will help you to play with your tempo. Imagine you're a storyteller and you tell a short children's story. Stories always start with words designed to grab the attention, often with the idea that you're letting the listener in on a secret. Start your story with a lot of curiosity, such as, guess what happened to me the other day? It was extraordinary. You have already got the attention of the listeners. You will never guess what I've just heard. I had the surprise of my life. Next. I have never ever told anyone this before. I'll never ever forget the day that I almost died. Good stories always have that element of suspense. They also have momentum. They have enthusiasm and they also have tension. Memorable stories have different characters. Maybe a giant with a deep voice and a little girl with a high pitched voice. They contain surprise and drama. Play with these effects. We have talked about this in the episode where I was talking about theatrics. You create a strong effect by having variety in your voice to keep your listeners interested. People may admire you for your voice, but they will never admire you if you don't do a modulation or the theatrics in your voice. If you have to give a speech with the strict time limits, try it out in different tempos. Why? Because time management leads to task management. Get to recognize how your nerves affect your timing so that you don't make your speech either too long or too short. So these are certain nuances that we have to take into consideration whenever we are speaking. Try to have a control over your breath. Try to have a control over your pause. Have a control over your tempo. And do some voice modulations. In the upcoming episodes, we will talk about how you can fill your speech with the sounds of music. We will talk about emphasis. We will talk about the rhythmic speech, which is also called the flow, the tempo, and the rhythm. We will talk about the ancient art of rhetoric. And we will talk about how to make most of your silent moments. I've given you a gist about the power of the pause. We will drill down further to understand it on a deeper level. Thank you so much for listening. Take care and have a good day.